if you could do a little clap for me just to sync everything up.
Like this?
Oh, I love you guys. Okay, so I'm joined in the van of Lightscape by Will and Sam, right? Yeah, I got their names right. Yay!
We're a different band.
Too many bands. This is the most interesting setting yet, I think. Yeah, well, we've done toilets. We've done boring, generic outdoors in an alleyway and getting attacked by gangs, and now we're sat in your van.
Yeah.
So this is an interesting one.
There's no gangs in here.
Before anything else happens, though, there is one rule of the van.
Yeah.
If you look on the dashboard,
oh,
you can show it with the camera.
This one here?
No.
Oh, where am I going?
The letters are.
Letters. Ooh, where am I looking?
The big silver letters.
Big
You
silver
double
letters.
silver thing.
Oh yes.
Now, there's one rule of this van that when you get in the van and you see the letters, you have to come up with a word for each letter.
Nice. Okay.
It has to be a tangible sentence that
Yes.
makes us laugh or frown in disgust.
Unusually, Will calls Ben. Now that's a
That
polite
is
one.
the most
okay?
PC one we've
Yes.
come up with.
No, we come up with all sorts of things. So your turn, Chris.
Okay.
Put you on the spot now.
Oh, I'm getting the questions this time.
Yeah.
So, UWCB.
Yeah.
Uncanny, witty,
Ooh, that's good.
clever.
Say uncanny.
I can't say anything dodgy, can I? Because
Yeah, you can.
I have to bleep it out. Uncanny, witty, clever,
Oh.
boops. We'll go with that.
I would have gone with boy, but because it would have made more sense. But we'll go with that.
Or
Pretty good effort.
unrealistically well clothed band. There we go. I just pressed pause on the. To start off, obviously I met you guys. Whoa, well, what?
Bye.
It's all right. We're back in the game.
Lightscape, you need to sort out your lighting.
Yeah,
Haha.
we do. Please remember to turn that off, otherwise we get a flat battery on the way home.
Right, let's do this quickly then. So obviously I met you guys at the Water Rats on Valentine's Day a couple of months ago. How have you guys been? What have you been up to?
Good. Yeah, really good.
Done a bit of writing.
Yeah.
We're in talks with a few managers. We're just trying to take our next step.
Had a good gig in Norwich. Didn't
Oh yeah, we had a
Good gig in
good
Norwich.
like 200 cap, not 200 cap, but 200 attendance audience in Norwich.
Yeah, which was
At
cool.
Epic, it was cool. Yeah, with this
Nice.
huge PA that we got in as well, which was nice. Kindly lent
Played
to
with
us.
Tax the Heat, didn't
Yeah,
we,
we
earlier
played
this
with Tax the
week,
Heat as
which
well.
was cool.
We've done a fair bit in Norwich.
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of background work. The kind of I can't swear on here, can I? the kind of stuff that nobody sees. It's boring stuff, and it's just all stuff to try and progress the band to the next level, so that we can try and make some big strides this year if we can.
Yeah.
Do our best anyway.
Fantastic. So I wanted to kind of like delve into a little bit of the history of the band, kind of like ask how you guys actually came together as a band. What's your kind of like story about that?
Started with me, I guess. So I went to a college called Access to Music, and now called Access Creative. And I was in a band during my time there, and it fell apart afterwards. And I tried to sort of keep it going, but I didn't work with the members, and they were all sort of moving on with their lives. So I started jamming with my brother Jimmy, who now plays drums for Lightscape.
Yeah.
So we were just jamming at home. I still lived at my mum's at the time. It took a long time to actually get any members that we liked or were stable. It probably about a year and a half. We were just trying different people out. It's a long process, but yeah. And then so it's me and Jimmy for a while, and then we came across Will. We're on like a fucking sorry for the swearing, but like a dating site for band members, if it were.
Okay.
Would you call it that?
What was it called? Was it,
It was,
Join My Band?
Yeah,
wasn't it?
joinmyband.com it was called.
So it does work,
So I read his
advert.
advert and I was like, okay, I'll give this guy a go. And then here we are. Like we kind of hit it off from there. And it was like I remember that he came to the first practice with like I sent him a demo and he came with like a vocal hook. Me and Jimmy were just like, God, this is awesome. We need to roll with this. So lucky Will was on board, and then we found another two members that we all kind of knew through mutual friends and function bands and things. And and we eventually got sort of rolling, and then that kind of happened 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So it brings us to like 2016, and then we're just powering on since. Released three EPs, haven't we?
I think we write a lot more than we release. Obviously, we're quite fussy about what we. I say we never. I don't think we've completed a song that we haven't released, if that makes sense. So
Okay.
we'll start working on it, and if we're not feeling it, we'll drop it. So we have a lot of songs that are 2/3 done or something like that. But I think,
They almost get there. We often
Yeah.
do like a selection process before we go into the studio.
Yeah,
So rather than going in, say you're going to record 3 songs and you go in with 3 songs, you're going with 6 like a week before, and you have to fight literally between us about which
But I
3
don't
songs we're
think
going to do.
we're not the type of band. I don't think we don't want to have any filler, and we feel quite strongly about that, and quite strongly about our material. I don't think we have any filler personally. But I don't think we're prolific writers either. You know, you get some bands who will write 15 songs a month, but you know, probably 14 and a half of them are crap. So we tend to, if the idea isn't flowing and we're not all vibing off it, then we'll move on. But that can mean that you don't produce, you know, like I say, we don't produce 30 songs a year. We might just produce 15 good ones, you know, and then we'll whittle them down and record 6, for example. So
Okay, so you guys are starting to make a bit of a name for yourself now, especially since I've seen you recently. Obviously, you've got a couple of endorsements recently, so congratulations on that.
thank you.
Who do you really want to be endorsed by, though?
That's a question and a half.
Do you go instruments? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. The handiest one would probably be Sennheiser, because we have a lot of Sennheiser equipment.
that'd
be great if they could just, you know, take us on and reimburse us for all of it, because we've bought it now.
Me
I
and
don't
Ben
know.
both have PRS guitars, so that'd be quite cool.
That would be amazing.
That would be a nice endorsement.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's me being selfish.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's any one particular one. If all the brands that we use came after us, it'd be amazing. You know, I'm pretty sure I could be swayed to use a Sennheiser microphone, for example. I'm currently using Audio Technica, but if Sennheiser would like to bring me their best model, then
Lightscape.
hang on.
I think I'm just going to have to like click into one of your videos every time that goes off.
Yeah.
Getting nowhere.
If Sennheiser want to come after us, then that'd be great.
Fantastic. So, what has your biggest hurdle as a band been so far?
Oh, I think it's quite an easy one for me. Do you want me to take it, or do you want to say?
I'm drawing a blank, Will.
Okay, well, the biggest hurdle for me, and I found it in a previous band that I did as well, is what I personally call the next level.
Okay.
So, getting to that stage where you're starting to hit bigger audiences, you know, without, you know, so we struggle to get onto big gigs. We struggle to get gigs where other people provide us an audience. You know, in Norwich we provide our own audience. We go away and it's gradual. We're trying to build it. It's a slow process, but we seem to be I seem to struggle to get that. I want to call it that lucky break, because I think, you know, it's more than luck, but I do think you need some luck, and I think, you know, maybe the right person sees us and thinks, do you know what, I think they've got potential, and you know, put something behind us. Not necessarily money, just an opportunity. We're not looking for money. We're not bothered about it at all. We'd all spend our last penny trying to get to where we want to get to, but it's more about that opportunity, because we believe in what we're doing and we think it's strong enough. If we could be put on a tour and play to 2,000 people a night, I'm pretty sure that most of those 2,000 would like us in the right scenario, you know, with the right band, and that's when, you know, a following starts to snowball, and I think that's for me, that's the biggest stumbling block, and there is no specific way to get past that stumbling block, if you see what I mean.
I mean, going on that, you're obviously tonight you've been performing with quite a lot of like heavy kind of metally, punky kind of bands. I was speaking to Dan earlier from Centuries, and I was saying to him, what about a collaboration? Maybe get him to do some vocals on one of your next tracks, guys, or something like that. But obviously, I think you guys perform fantastic. Could you ever see something like that happen, like a collaboration with a band or a vocalist?
I certainly wouldn't rule it out. I think that it depends. It depends on the scenario or the style. I don't know whether you're better to go down a route that's completely different, or probably the most beneficial thing to bands like in our situation is to find another band in a similar situation, in a similar genre, and you link each other's following, if you see what I mean. So I'm trying to think of
Annabelle.
Annabelle, yes. Annabelle's a great example. So if I could do a dual vocal with her and she could do one with us.
She does a lot of covers as well.
Yeah, I mean that'd be great, because we share a similar style of fan base. They're bigger than us, there's no doubt, but it's that's something that would be interesting for sure. Okay. And the whole male female vocal thing I think would be pretty cool.
So we'll go and talk a bit about your current album. I wanted to ask you, because I kind of read the description about like the explanation about By Design. Mm-hmm. Obviously that's a fantastic track at the moment. Been hooked, listened to the whole album recently. What does the album mean to you? Like when you've written it, how is that is it an expression of yourself? Is it something you personally relate to? How does that work for you?
What, lyrically, you mean, or the whole thing?
I mean, lyrically, personally, for me, I find that's quite a strong thing.
Yeah. So, trying to think. I mean, a couple of the songs are very personal, and a couple of them. The thing is, when you write lyrics, everybody thinks they're about you personally. They think I don't have that much of a troubled life. It's my life isn't that bad, so I can't. You have to see what's going on around you, and I have friends who have had problems, and some of the songs are about that, and you don't want to go into too much detail with it, but you see a situation from afar, how you view it, and so I think most of the songs, I don't know, it's quite diverse what they're about, it's what I know. One is about friends' relationships. One is about the band. Are
we getting nowhere?
Yeah,
obviously.
It's not that one. It's not that one. It's actually More to Life. More to Life is about the band, and everybody thinks that More to Life is about a relationship. Okay, yeah. It's really not. And if you listen to it, it will make sense. It's about the passion and desire to succeed as a band, and doubting yourself. Because you think everyone in a band like ours has this like moment where you think, like, seriously, are we just banging our heads against a brick wall? Are we not as good as we? That sounds awful.
Lightscape.
Are we not as good as we think we are? And I don't mean that in an obnoxious way, but if you don't believe in yourselves as a band, if you don't think you're good enough to get somewhere, I can't see the point in doing it. So, that song is basically all about that, and just you start second guessing yourself. Are we good enough? Is there any point to keep doing this, or do you just kind of hurt yourself by this carrot is dangled in front of you, and you keep trying to get at it, and it, you think you're getting closer and it gets further away, and you think you're getting it, So I don't know. It's a bit of a journey, the EP, of probably a year of my life lyrically, and a year of the boys, everyone's lives musically, if you like.
Okay. To kind of round up the interview, I'd like to just kind of ask, is there anything that we can expect in the near future or the far future that you can tell us about at all?
More gigs away. That's our prime focus, getting out of Norwich. Hopefully there'll be some activity around Birmingham, and in talks with various people as well, just to try and get us out further. I don't know if we'll go way up north, really.
No, I think it's very difficult for us to go.
I think it's best to sort of start in Norwich and then work our way out. So I know, like, Folkestone's quite south.
You need to come up my end when I move back home to Liverpool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can suggest places for you. It needs growing again, to be honest. So if you can help me, I'd appreciate it.
I think the thing is, for us, like, alternative rock is it's in a funny place right now. I think if you can get to that biggest scale, it's still very popular, but on the way up, it's someone just hit us.
I don't know. Sounded like it.
Definitely felt something.
I think someone did.
Every interview, something different happens.
It's alright, I've got a tow bar on the back.
So you got a claim for to get something free for your next guitar, then, yeah?
Yeah. Poor bitch. Wasn't allowed it.
Yeah, definitely felt a little nudge forward, but it definitely would have done her car more damage than this, I think. She was smiling when I looked at her, so she didn't seem too worried. Sorry. Where were we?
I think we were actually coming to the end of the interview, actually. That's an interesting way. Much like they've been hit, Lightscape should definitely be a future hit. So thank you very much, Will, and thank you very much, Sam. Definitely hope to see more of you in the future. keep being awesome. Thank you very much.
Thanks, mate.
Cheers, Chris. Thank
Cheers.
you.
Appreciate that.